Hey, have you ever flipped a coin before? If so, what do you think are the chances of it landing on heads or tails? Probability is the branch of mathematics that deals with counting chances for the odds of an event to happen, and it plays a quite big role in our daily lives. Hello, my name is Prasna Satyo, and I'm from Indonesia, and here today I will be presenting to you probability. Probability. Probability is a branch of mathematics and statistics concerning events and numerical descriptions of how likely they are to occur. The probability of an event is a number between 0 and 1. The larger the probability, the more likely an event is to occur. The formula for probability is the number of favorable outcomes divided the number of possible outcomes. Now, back to the question. What would be the chances of the coin landing on heads? Now, since we want it to land on heads, its number of favorable outcomes is 1, since tails is not a favorable outcome. Since there could be two possible outcomes, heads and tails, the probability for it to land on heads is 1 over 2, or 1/2. Now, here are some examples of probability in our lives. A simple example is the probability for guessing a correct answer in math Olympiads like WMI. And since there's 5 options, A, B, C, D, and E, and there's only one correct answer, the number of favorable outcomes is only 1, and the number of possible outcomes is 5. So, the probability for choosing a correct answer randomly is 1 over 5, or 0.2. A complex example of probability is the probability of winning a jackpot with a fair slot machine. Now, usually, each slot has 20 symbols, and a slot machine usually has 3 slots, and to hit a jackpot, we need the same symbol for each slot. The probability of winning a jackpot with 20 symbols is 0.0025. Why? Because for the first slot, it can be anything. The first picture or symbol till the 20th symbol. It can be anything. But once it gets to the second one, the second slot has to match the first slot, meaning there's only 1 out of 20 choices that does exactly that, which means you have to multiply 1 and 1 over 20, which gives you 1 over 20. And then you would have to multiply it by 1 over 20 again, since the third slot should also match the first and second slots, which gives you 1 over 400, or 0.0025. Now, a even more complex example of probability is the probability to draw a blackjack, or cards summing up with a total value of 21, which could be a pair of king, jack, or queen, or 10 along with an ace. Here's the explanation. Now, first, let's count the probability of an ace followed by a 10 value card. Now, since there are 4 aces and 16 cards with a value of 10, which are 10, jack, queen, and king in a 52 card deck, the probability of drawing an ace first is 4 over 52. After drawing an ace, there are 51 cards remaining. The probability of drawing a 10 value card next is 16 over 51. Now, the probability of this sequence is 4 over 52 multiplied by 16 over 51, which results in 64 out of 2652. Next, let's count the probability of a 10 value card followed by an ace. Now, the probability of drawing a 10 value card first is 16 over 52, since there's 16 10 value cards. Now, after drawing a 10 value card, there are 51 cards remaining, and 4 aces. The probability of drawing an ace next is 4 over 51. The probability of this sequence is 16 over 52 multiplied by 4 over 51, which in the end gives you 64 out of 2652. Now, let us count the total probability. The probability for either sequence to happen is the sum of the individual probabilities, which is 64 out of 2652 plus again 64 out of 2652, which results in 128 out of 2652. This simplifies the probability to be approximately 0.048 or 4.8%. So basically, if I ever invited you to a game of blackjack and asked you to draw two cards at random, there would be only a 4.8% chance that you would get a blackjack, which is very low. Here, I will pick two cards and see if it's blackjack. Oh no, so close. I got a 20 value in total, but again, the chances are low. Uses of probability in our daily lives. Sports and games. You see, probability is used in sports to analyze player performance. For example, batting average in cricket, predict game outcomes, and develop strategies. Second of all, you can also use it in stock exchange in the market. Probability is a crucial tool in stock analysis because it helps investors understand the likelihood of different outcomes. By using probability distributions, investors can assess the potential performance of a stock, manage risk by determining maximum losses, and even build diversified portfolios. So it's very useful. Third, voting. Probability is used in political polling and analysis to assess the likelihood of different outcomes in elections. So you get to know a brief vision on what the results will be. Okay, that's the end of my presentation. Probability is a very great and useful mathematical branch that has helped us in our lives. So next time someone asks you if you want to play blackjack or flip a coin, and if you win you get something good, you would know that it would be better to just flip a coin. Now let's try again. I'll pick two cards randomly. See? I lost. Now let's see if I can win by flipping this coin. I choose heads. Oh, look. It is heads. That is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening and watching.